to start here. Oh my God, this fucking movie. Oh, this fucking movie. Jeez. It's bad. I mean, is anybody really surprised? I mean, was anybody clicking on this going, ooh, I bet he's going to praise this? I mean, no. I mean, I don't think anybody who saw the trailer, who looked at the posters, or anything was going anything other than, oh, well, this is going to be stupid. And, yeah, I mean, it is. But it doesn't even have the decency to be stupid in a fun way. Okay, you go see Jurassic Park, or any of its subsequent sequels. All of the sequels of Jurassic Park are stupid to varying degrees until you get like down to the last two, which they are downright insulting with how stupid they are. But you go to it expecting a certain amount of that. You just have to. Especially with the whole subplot, subtext of, human hubris and our desire to play God and our lack of respect for nature and all of that. Of course, people are going to have to make blindly stupid decisions in order to progress the plot along. And you kind of have to just accept that until they get to a point, as I've said, where the choices just become so utterly stupid that even the greatest actors on earth have a hard time finding logical justification for the things their characters do. And that is the ultimate problem with a movie like this. That is the ultimate problem with a film like this is, well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. I want to save that, but we are going to talk about it. Let's talk about this, what this film is about. First of all, just know, as you can see, it's a beautiful October day as I drive. The sun is out, so that means we're going to get the glare. Try to avoid it, but it's going to happen. Sorry. Matter of fact, here it comes right now. All right, so what is this movie about? All right, well, I mean, it's not the most complicated plot in the world. So you have our two main characters, Becky Bad Idea and Hunter Hurts a Lot. Just what I'm going to go with them. Should be something more along the lines of Hunter Peer Pressure or whatever, because she's a terrible friend. Anyway, so Becky Bad Idea is this rock climber, and as we see in a prologue, she and her rock climber husband were rock climbing when something spooked her rock climber husband, and he fell off of the mountain and died, and now she is forever traumatized. For those paying attention, yes, it is exactly the same origin story of Sylvester Stallone's character in the 90s action film Cliffhanger. So after a year of moping around about this guy, which, to be fair, that's a fairly traumatic death to witness. All death is traumatic to witness, but that one must be especially terrifying. So after a year of moping around and blaming her dad, who is basically Dewey Cox's first wife, who goes, honey, I'm worried about you. You know your husband was a bum. Like, is that supposed to help? Like, even if he was, which as it turns out, that is in fact the case, I mean, that's not a good way to help get a person out of mourning, to tell them, oh, why are you crying over that guy? He was an asshole. I mean, that doesn't really work. And if you think it does, please promise me you're going to quit your job as a grief counselor. So anyway, Becky Bad Idea is too busy blaming her dad and drinking and taking pills to move on until her old friend and fellow extreme sports enthusiast, Hunter Hurts a Lot, in that she hurts other people, shows up and says, I'm going on this adventure and I need you to come with me. I'm going to go do something intensely stupid, and the only way for you to combat your fears is to come and do this intensely stupid thing with me.
Hey, the cop never said anything about doing intensely stupid things.
Never wave while driving.
Never look backwards while driving forward.
Never under any circumstances drive with your butt cheeks.
To which Becky Bad Idea says, that sounds like a good idea. And so they go. Their goal is to climb this abandoned radio tower that's like 2,000 feet up, and somehow spread Becky Bad Idea's rock climber husband's ashes at the top, and that is going to alleviate all guilt and negative feelings. Then she'll be ready to move on. It should also be noted that Hunter Herzog is, of course, a clickbait hound. She's a YouTuber. She's an influencer. You know, what kind of person constantly seeks the recognition and approval of strangers by posting stupid things on you? Oh. Okay, well, touche, movie. Touche. Anyway, but of course, because she's a daredevil clickbaiter, she is just constantly throwing herself into stupider and stupider things for likes, clicks, and views. So, you know where this is going. So they go to this thing, which has been abandoned. It's massive, it's old, it's gated off with a lock. You know, so clearly nobody should be climbing this, and of course the two dumbasses proceed to climb it, and lo and behold, when they get to the top, the age of the structure catches up with them, the ladder collapses, and they are now trapped on top of this 2,000-foot fucking tower, going, how now, what do we do? So there's your story, and they have to learn to survive, and of course they learn new things, terrible secrets, betrayals are revealed, and all this. I'll just spoil it. I don't care. I'm going to say spoiler alerts. I'm going to say it, but I'm going to be honest, and my Becca always points this out to me, is that when I don't care about a movie, I don't give a shit about spoilers. And that is true. I do not give a shit about spoiling this movie. Seriously and honestly, I do not give a shit about spoiling this movie for anybody. So, but if you want to go see it and you don't want anything ruined, then, you know, just be warned, okay? So it turns out through the course of all this, it's discovered that Hunter Herzog not only is a terrible friend in that she believes the best way to her friend to work through her trauma is to inflict more trauma upon her and to downplay her trauma. You know, great friending there. But it also turns out that 4 months prior to Becky Bad Idea getting married to her husband, Hunter Herzog was actually screwing her husband. So this is while she was dating him. So when I say she's, you know, Hunter Herzog, yeah, she not only hurts you physically, but emotionally and through betrayal. So, you know, great friendship there. So yes. And they find this out, and again, it proves her dad completely right, that her boyfriend was a complete and utter douchebag, because he used to tell Becky Bad Idea that he loved her in the most douchebaggy way possible, because he would never say it out loud, because that was just too, you know, he was too macho for that. No, he'd tap it out. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And in one of their brilliant schemes to escape the tower, which involved taking off their shoes, Becky Bad Idea notices that Hunter Herzog has 143 tattooed on her ankle, and the shit just comes out. Yeah, there's just so much going on there. Well, I've already talked about it. We'll talk about the script here in a second. But let me praise this movie. Let me give some good points before we get too deep into this. So I will say that it is really well directed. You know, the cinematography is great. It creates the atmosphere that it's supposed to create, and the scenes are tense and incredibly well done. If you have even a slight fear of heights, such as I do, then this film is going to cause you some anxiety. Like, I have been up on a rickety-ass 30-foot ladder trying to adjust lights that won't move with no handhelds, you know, swimming in a sea of OSHA violations, you know. So there were moments in this, especially when they're climbing the ladder and it's shaking, I'm like, motherfucker, you know. So it does its job, Okay? So if you enjoy that kind of movie, if you like that kind of adrenaline rush, then I think this film actually does deliver that fairly reliably. So I have to give it that credit. It does the job that it says it wants to do. So I guess if you're just grading on that, then you're in good shape. All right? Unfortunately for this film, I am not just grading on that, because every literal thing else about this movie is awful. There's a caveat. I won't say the acting of the two leads is awful. I think they are doing the best they can with the material they have to work with. You know, it must have been a very physically demanding shoot for them. So I applaud both actors for just, I don't know how many stunts they personally did, but even if they did like 3% of them, that's still some pretty physically demanding stuff there. So I applaud them for the work they did. So, okay, so there's that caveat. However, everything else about this movie is shit. And let's start with the most egregious thing. If you've seen the trailer for this movie, you know one of the things they tell you is from the producers of 47 Meters Down. That is a half-truth. They should have just gotten rid of the from the producers of and just said it's 47 meters down. Like, fucking plot point for plot point. Everything is 47 meters down. Like, yeah, I understand with a movie like this, we're not exactly expecting Ibsen. All right? I'm not expecting complex plot construction or characters with motivations beyond the surface, or if they are beyond the surface with not much further, about as deep as an ingrown hair, perhaps. But I think you could have maybe done a little bit better than literally just copy pasting the script from the first 47 Meters Down and changing the names and the location. It's the exact same fucking thing. Two female friends, one of them getting over the loss of a boyfriend. Now, in 47 Meters Down, I believe he had left her. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've seen that movie. In this one, of course, he died. They go and do something intensely stupid, wherein every warning sign is there telling them that this is the most intensely stupid thing you can do. But in pure Crow-T robot logic, they weigh the options that this is going to work versus the options are doing something incredibly stupid, and they go ahead anyway. They end up trapped there. It even has the same twist ending. Again, I'm going to spoil it. So, spoiler alert, here we go. So, about halfway through their little adventure, they have to rappel down to their backpack, which has fallen off of the top and hooked itself on one of the satellite dishes about 50, 60 feet below that. So it's a very harrowing tale, and Hunter hurts a lot, goes down and does it, and there's a scene where she jumps onto the backpack, and Becky Bad Idea has to pull her up, and there's this moment of, oh my God, I lost control of the rope. Hunter, and she looks over and Hunter is dangling off the rope. I'm here! Well, it turns out that due to dehydration, hunger, a mental breakdown, no, that is not true. Hunter Herzog actually plummeted to her death at that moment, catching herself on the antennas and fucking bleeding out. And for the rest of the movie, every time you see her, Becky Bad Idea is just hallucinating her. The exact same motherfucking twist that they had in 47 Meters Down.
Oh, what a twist.
They even have a predatory animal that is stalking them. In that movie, of course, it was sharks. In this one, it is a pair of vultures. I mean, fucking A. I mean, honestly, the fuck? You could, again, not expecting the meticulous plot construction of a Shakespeare play, but for the love of God, you could at least change the twist. You could have tried to do something different. Nope, too much work. And that, of course, leads me to my biggest one. This, of course, and this is a personal thing. I need to stress that. This is a personal, this is a tainted view of things, of this movie specifically. Because I understand that other people have different philosophies and different points of view, and I am not trying to diminish that. I am merely stating my personal opinion. And my personal opinion on this film, as you can probably already predict, is the same issue I had with 47 Meters Down, in that it is impossible for me to feel sorry for these people because they fucking did it to themselves. They fucking did this to themselves. If you look at IMDb and you look at the description of this movie, it says best friends Hunter and Becky find themselves trapped on the top of a 2,000 foot tall tower. It's like, no, they didn't find themselves. They didn't wake up one morning and go, whoa, what the fuck? You know, this is not a situation where you are unknowingly caught between a literal rock and a hard place. This is not the Poseidon Adventure where you went on a cruise and a giant tidal wave tipped the boat over and now you have to survive. This is not the Towering Inferno, okay? Where you are an unwitting victim of man's hubris and greed. This is two fucking idiots one of them looking for views and likes, went out, did something that every trace of common sense and man-made prevention, the fucking thing is locked, it's in disrepair, everything says, don't fucking do this, and you did it anyway. Then Becky Bad Idea and Hunter Hurts a Lot, that is called Darwinism. And I love they had this moment, one of these instances where they're trying to, humanize these characters, and they're having a conversation. And Becky Bad Idea is asking Hunter Hurts a Lot, well, why do you put on this this Hunter Danger persona? Why do you do all these things? And she has the heart-wrenching soliloquy where she talks about, rock climber boyfriend's death really taught me that life is short and you just have to grab it and live it and take the chance because life is so short. And Becky Bad Idea is so moved by this. Like, wow, Hunter, that's the Hunter that people want to see. You should get rid of the Hunter Danger persona, and that's the real you. Yes, thank you, because the world needs such brilliant and wisdom-filled observations as life is short. Thank you, Hunter Hurts a Lot, for that staggering look into the human condition. And again, only my philosophy here, and if this is not yours, fair enough, you do you, it's your life, it's your world, go fucking nuts. But my issue with that being the underlying thing is that, okay, if life is so short and life is so precious, why is your fucking pastime things that are deliberately designed to make it shorter? The fuck is wrong with you? Yes, I have no sympathy for these characters at no time. Especially, I sympathize slightly more with Becky Bad Idea, more than Hunter Hurts a Lot, but not by much, because at least Becky Bad Idea several times says, let's go back. And Hunter Hurts a Lot just said, no, fuck that, we're going up because we got to teach you not to be afraid anymore. Well, good job there, bitch. And I realize I have to be very careful here because I've already offended one core fandom, small but vocal. I've already got the Kearney kids after me. I don't want the Fall Phillies to follow suit, so I must be very careful with my criticism here. Did you hear the sarcasm? I don't know if you heard the sarcasm. Was the sarcasm clear enough?
Viewer advisory. The rest of this review contains incitements to violence, foul language, rubber novelty poop, and brief nudity.
Okay. Wow, that was a rant. That was a real rant and a very inhumanizing one. I think I came off pretty bad in that, to be completely honest. I'm gonna get some hate comments on this one. I can feel it. I can feel the Kearney kids are gonna be gearing up, and I'm gonna be, you're so insensitive, you're so awful, you're so. Anyway, that's enough justification. Like me or love me, I don't care. Like me or love me or hate me. You know what I mean. Anyway, fuck it. Let's do this. So final grade for Fall. Again, I pride myself on being objective, on being fair, and taking the positive with the negative. So I'm going to say that my final grade on this one is going to be a C-. A C-. And I know that's higher up than I think most people would expect, given the rants I just went on. But I have to stress that a movie like this has one job, and it did that job well. Or fairly well, at least. It gave you that the anxiety. It gave you that sense of fear. So I can't knock it for that. Because who is going to a movie like this for anything else, really? It loses everything else for all the reasons I have listed, and I'm too pissed off at it to go back over them. So, you know what? So there you go. I think a C- is more than fair. Especially since I think I just made myself look like one of the worst human beings in the world reviewing this movie, to be completely honest. And then tried to dig myself out of the hole and just kept digging the hole deeper. Wow, I'm a terrible person. Anyway. So there you go. So there's Fall. So anyway, thank you for joining me, the worst human being on the planet. And thank you for joining me. Thanks for coming along. And as always, drive safe, and I will see you at the movies.